Hello and welcome to Hot Streaming Saturdays. Gonna jump into the Stanley Parable. Yes, I haven't played it. It's been out for many years. Everyone else knows the gimmick. Interesting game. The end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So the gimmick with the Stanley Parable is you're simply supposed to go move around and listen to some instructions. I don't believe there's anything else you can do in the game. More or less a walking simulator with an interesting story. There are some puzzles, I believe. I have seen the baby, clicking on the baby for 4 hours experiment, which was pretty awesome. Gotta try not to talk over the subtitles. Oh, you can. Try to open doors. Nope.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So you're ultimately
No matter how hard
tasked.
Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
You're tasked with following the narrator's instructions. Obviously, you can do what you want. Hello. Hope you can't get stuck
Stanley
in this
went
game.
around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
And so this is what the whole game's about. Just little funny things like that. And the mystery, of course. There's some interesting achievements in the game as well. Like, turn the game on and off. That was one achievement. Change the settings. That was another achievement. Got those sorted real quick. Ah. Here comes the narrator.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So you can choose the one on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And so this is what everyone does. They take the opposite. Because they don't trust the narrator, naturally.
Ah, yes, truly. truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yeah.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Great. First open door on my left is this one.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oof, it looks pretty menacing there. Now I think we're going to test this out. Oh.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
And the door opens to left. And there's no other way out.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Ha! Nice.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Nice and menacing. Whoa!
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We
Fired.
Back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track.
That's great.
Okay, from the top.
Oh, that is hilarious. Now we start over? That's great. So we just saw the, obviously some sort of master, sort of Matrix-style overview of all the world, as it were.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
Uh-oh.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay, let's go where they wanted me to go. Oh, the door's still open. Unexpected. Now the rooms have changed. Obviously, things have changed. Everything's gone... Yeah. Very creepy.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No, it's starting over again. I didn't even do anything. Okay. Maybe I was rushing too fast, not letting the narrator do his job.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, let's go. See if any rooms have changed.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
No invisible doors. Check for invisible doors. Wait, was that like that before? Okay. Only open doors.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Do I go
No,
back?
wait.
Oh,
Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
nice. So this is just a constantly changing maze. This is really, really interesting. At least to play through. Maybe not to watch. Wow. That was a change. They need this, but with a little bit of combat or a little bit of something else with it. That would be obviously the next step forward in the paradigm.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yay!
You put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Great. We're going to start the game again?
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Damn. I've seen some shots of this. I was like, what the hell is this? Did somebody put this in with Photoshop?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay. Off we go on the line. Yellow Brick Road. Hey, this is new. So Stanley's some sort of AI then, inside of just a storytelling game. I.e. the game. Self-referential. Gonna follow the line.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa,
Yes.
whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Ah!
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I have to match a fern later on in the game. That was a bit of an interesting sort of Monty Python moment we had there. There seems to be a square on the floor. It's a glitch, or is it actual? Nah, it's a glitch. Let's walk over it. Nothing. Yeah.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh, we're back!
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Nice. So we're in some sort of simulation. Go up to the line. And silence. The narrator didn't speak. Let's see if he moves.
You know
It's
what,
complete.
Stanley?
Oh.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
It's me going in a circle is what it is. And there you go, you see. Mind puzzles. The maze.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Don't acknowledge the line. I love it. I just love how everything is just sort of crazy. Has a mind of its own. Oh, and we can't see outside. Beautiful story. And there goes. Goodbye, line. And we have another door situation.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to
Walk in
lead
circles?
somewhere. Which means
I'm not doing that.
somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic.
Great.
Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
What? Confusion. What does this say? The confusion ending. The confusion ending. Oh, look at that. Minutes you've been playing the game. 16 minutes, which is a little bit off. I love this. Walk around the line while I think. Oh, that is awesome. Look at that. And there's a nice chair there. So what we got? Deviate from maintenance room, end up in monitor room. Narrator restarts the game. First restart. Discover the two doors room now has many additional doors. Aimless wandering. Narrator restarts the game. Second restart. The office is now a dead end. Turn around, find another dead end. End up in another building. Narrator restarts the game. Third restart. Adventure line. Nonsense. Philosophy. Music. Return the music to the office. Return to the monitor room. Fourth restart. Adventure in unexplored territory. Find the line again. Find the confusing ending. Schedule. Narrator restarts the game. Fifth restart. Narrator forgets about previous restarts. Stanley attempts to play a story but is prevented. Unable to go or do anything. The game restarts its own. Sixth restart. Find the line again. Begin following the line. Find identical replica of the office that had begun to deteriorate. Attempt to make up a story here. Narrator restarts the game. Seventh restart. There's no longer an office. Simply black space. Wander in the blackness. Find a book store. Get bored and leave. Narrator restarts the game. 8 restart. The narrator is gone. After a long time, Stanley dies. How fitting. How beautiful.
Oh, hold up. What's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Whoa. They restarted. They just pulled the plug on him. That's great. No, you didn't get a choice. I love it. Definitely has to be an AI doing his crazy thing, and someone's controlling him, and he's trying to control me. It's very, very nice.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Has to go the way it's supposed to go. Determinism.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Gotta follow the rules. To a point.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda, reflect. Push for funding for R&D of the new coffee machine. Not cost efficient. Standardized graphs. 40 by wide. Okay, get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper guy. Synergize guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the target of the topic. And we have employee numbers. Interesting. Yeah, bullshit. Random bullshit. We need... I can't see what it says. More or less reviews. 2 of them want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule, but I think that's a stupid idea. More water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Finding teenagers put in teenage demographic. Big net. Some sort of child trap. Work harder, hard worker. Teenagers. Space between the teenagers. Oh no, throw something in the ideas bin. No more bins, trash cans, renaming of the... firing of me. Yeah, great. I like the attention to detail here. This is great. Profits. Cool, let's move on. Synergize core value, expenditures. Let's put some jargon on there. Monetize free to play. Yeah, I gotta monetize free to play. That was a thing back then. Talking about 2013 when this game came out. Broom closet. Yeah. I opened a door.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I deserve an achievement for that. Come on. I didn't think any of the rooms were openable, but there was one with a name, so come on.
There was
Where's my
nothing
achievement?
here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Let's see if we can piss off the narrator. By clicking on stuff.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Sweet FA. Sweet fuck all, yeah. Gonna see if he...
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Give me an option box, that'd be great.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Yeah, this is what I'm aiming for. Broom closet ending.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
I love the fact that I've not watched any videos on this. I've never actually seen anyone play the game other than the baby lever thing. And I've managed to get into a room and trigger this crazy story, which I'm guessing that was the end of. But just little things like that are great. Why don't we have this in normal games? We need more Colossal's crazy voice work. Come on. We could do it. I think that's it, though. I think we're done with this. Should be able to walk out now. And maybe the story's changed? Yeah, that's it.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Oh, but I tricked you.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? You can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Great. See, little things like this is great. Like, you can just spend all your time in here. Just clicking away, doing nothing. Go outside. Player 3, go back in. Player 4. How long will this generate? Infinitely? Ah, good. It didn't. That was great. That was good.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I can see why people enjoy this game. What is down here?
But
Ooh.
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Nice.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
This is a bit depressing. And then you're back. Nothing has changed.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Is that the ending? Or one ending? Yeah, good. No line, nothing.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
The others. Well, we've seen one other now. We've seen a woman.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on it. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So let's try a different path. Guess that's what this game's all about, really. It's the path we took last time. Cool.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I think I recall this from back when the game first came out, yeah. I did see this little video. Warning, do not jump from the cargo. Yes.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
I can jump, I
I'm
think.
not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Oh. Here we go.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
So let's do that again, not jump.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
I like how
Eager
that
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
got multiple different responses.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Can I jump down there?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stan. What?
Yes.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Awesome.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Love it. This is great. Danger everywhere. Great. Oh, the door closed. So each of these rooms, is that a room for a person like me? The B's stand for threes in this game. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. As we saw. Oh.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I love how there's still this ability to choose your own destiny.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
And here we're being pushed to the other way. Oh.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
There's the blue door, is still there. You can just go the other way.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
And it's...
You see?
Ooh.
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option.
Ooh.
This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley.
Nice.
Take it for a spin.
Yeah, let's do this. Wooden door. That's just brand new.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Yes. Like and subscribe.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ooh, ah. Worldwide leaderboard. Doors opened. Is offline. Is this real though? This can't be. 21.3% skip the intro sequence. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. 98.9% are more shocked. So taking the piss of you. Yes, 9,328. Online, yeah, taking the piss. How long does it take you to get to the correct door? Compete against others. Nice. Why not ask some friends for help? Why not ask some friends? Yes, friends list empty. Nice. That's hilarious. So, again, I could still choose that door. A dead rat is objectively ranked above you. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, let's. Oh, just gonna start over, yeah. So that was great. So they want me to take the left door. Let's take the right door.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been
Here it
working
is.
on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Yep.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh no! 4 hours of this. And then after, I think, 3 hours, you get 2 buttons to push. And then you're running between the 2 buttons to push them, so you can't just leave it like a stone on your keyboard or something stupid. So you have to run over here, click it here, and then run back over here, and click there. Really well worth watching. I'm gonna let that baby die. Goodbye, baby. No. Oh.
Bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
Will it ever
I'll
be
say
enough?
this, I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Where?
This will go here. No, here. And
Oh, there it is. This is hilarious.
Let's see.
Can't
what
jump.
Does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off,
The
yes,
door. The door.
It's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
You can't jump, you can't get out of here, so you're just trapped. You gotta go through the door.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay. Oh, we got a path. Oh, this is awesome. Don't want to drop down, do I? Yes, I do. Can't jump? Nope. No jumping in this game. I got the achievement for that earlier. Diamonds.
My, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No. Oh. By the way, I've never played Minecraft.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay,
monster.
new game.
Oh, damn. I was going to go check it out.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Is this Portal? Again, another great game that I haven't played. I'm guessing, yes, Aperture, yeah, Laboratories, I knew it. One of these days I'll play Portal. One of these days, maybe on the stream.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
God, really? Obviously you have a portal generator. Oh, we can pick stuff up. Check that out. Nice.
Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these.
Whoa. Awesome. Beta. This is an experience, alright. Did I just skip him trying to restart the game? Oh, it's too dark. Oh, shit. Can't see anything. The scary recesses of his mind. That's where we are now. Very dark. No handles on these. Yeah. This is the old him. All these rooms. Too many choices now. No narrator. Oh, but a light, a shining light. Ah, we're in like the office, but again, it's just completely rotten. Ah, the numbers are different too. 425. The master room. Can't do anything. No, but just being here probably changes the nature of the game. As I expected.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
And we're back to the start. With the game music. This must be the end.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Yeah, I need a safe place. Safe spaces are important.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
It's
Perhaps
one
he
more
wanted
way to go
stop by
here.
the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Let's go where it takes
Standing
us.
now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. So let's ride this
Stanley
across.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Okay, back to her. Let's see if we can get some
This is it,
more.
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Love it. Creating a reason to play the game. Yes. Ooh. Scary dark room. Let's go.
That's
Wow.
her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I'm unplugging the phone. Phones don't need power.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with
I
fear,
unplugged
but
it.
with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Back, sack, and crack, what the fuck?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay. Anything else I can do to cheat? No. Can't go back through the doors, right? Nope, does not exist. It's probably at this point where people jump. Oh!
We can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Can't jump.
The main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. Penalty for jumping off the gargoyle of $5,000. Okay, let's go, let's go. Swipe cards needed. It's interesting, he didn't just start the game over. He wants us to go back.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Okay.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like we have no choice. We have to go to the left. And break the machine. Door closes. No. Yeah, we gotta go. Bright light.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh no! Ooh. Scary, scary. Zombie game.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Are we going to get a repeat then if we go in the door on the right?
No! Why did you do that?
Yes.
Quickly, hurry.
Oh.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always.
How many times do I have to do this
first.
before it breaks it
Sure
again?
you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Is behaving.
Oh, we're breaking it. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
Made
left.
you think it was crashed. That is so good. You can't see anything. This is one of the endings. It said it was black and Stanley couldn't do anything. The game restarted. Yep. Makes you think you've crashed the game. This is great. Just wait here for a while and it'll restart. The humming stopped. I hope I don't have to restart the game at this point. Hoping it's just a long pause. then again, you're not sure. The game's got you. You know, you're sort of stuck. You're not quite sure if it's meant to be restarted at this point, or if you're supposed to wait it out. This is the magic of the game, I think. Okay, it looks like this is it. So I need to escape out, go back, start over. This is very ingenious. I do not want to begin the game again. That might be the only option? Really? So this must be one of the endings, like right off. Dead. You've destroyed it, you broke it, game over. Begin the game again.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Okay, that's different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I want to answer
Perhaps
the phone.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And then we will look at finishing
Stanley felt
it.
lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
That's a different one. Giddy. Giddy in a way he never knew before. That's different.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley,
let's
I
do the
think perhaps
phone.
we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Whoa.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
This is creepy.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Press 5 on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press K to watch TV. Let's press C. Nope. M? Nope, we have to press K.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press B to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me?
Yeah, I
How
pushed
can
it
I tell
anyways.
him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
And we start again. Now let's do the proper path that they want. Let's see what
All of
happens.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The only thing I haven't done is take the shortcut and not take the elevator down. Let's just follow the rules. Though I do. This is one of those games where you're tempted to try all the paths. Let us try the path, the shortcut. Wait, is this different? Jesus.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sure.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room.
Yeah.
It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made
Bleed
him
a little.
smile. At last, proof that he was human. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yes, we will.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section,
Skip that.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yeah. Back to the room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Past the closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yes. Ooh, very pretty. Not been here before. And executive bathroom, yes. I want to go to the bathroom. Then I could use my non-existent body. Close the door? No. No secretary. Nothing to click on. Is this the ending? The quick ending? Is there such a thing? And there's no boss.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Nice. So I could have probably put in the wrong code. It would probably like, but Stanley knew the code somehow and randomly put it in. Stuff not, no, nothing we can click on. Just that. Fine. Oh, under construction. The menacing red lights again. They could have put a really nice horror element into this. I'm sure they didn't want to overdo it. This is much
Descending deeper into the building,
nicer.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Because he's an AI, and maybe the voice in his head is the AI trying to break free, and now it's losing itself. Has to be something
Stanley
like that.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Or escape. Damn, why did they do this? Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay. Let's do it. Very long, never-ending hallway. Yeah.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Whoop. Creepy. And death. Nice. Oh, cool. Not death after all.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I don't have any bones. New narrator. Lovely. And the ending.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Interesting. So do we have like rival AI controlling the game? What is this? No other place to go. That's lovely.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
I see credits. This must be the ending, but I see I see rooms over there. Oh, wow. There's some fake doors. And the maze. The exhibit of my life, of the game. And all the paintings that were put in there. Stanley's computer. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development through the core layout, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time. Filing cabinets, yes. Office computers. Doing things that office computers do. The two doors. The set of two doors was the first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game merged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. The office. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard strokes and a synthesized tone. And we have here the credits. We have some lovely credits. I love the way they did that. And we have some rooms off to the left and right. Maintenance room. I love this. This is great. Larger words. The point of the Stanley Parable HD Remix is to lose. Is to win. Am I going crazy? These are screenshots of the game. More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, fewer narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. That's this great little museum. What the hell is this? Wait, did I not go here? Oh, I missed this part. Or maybe not. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. Was that not... Isn't that what he said we wanted to do? The game would become sentient and would wage war against an error. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game, plus some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. This is great too, I love that. Alien base awesome. I wonder what's on the other side. Do I get to see the other side? Yes, I do. The lounge, very important. There's the phone. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Cool. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up. Cargo lift, cargo lift. Some more diagrams. This by itself is cool. Just as little... One option, two options. Yeah, you gotta do that. Tree. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right since players will replay them many times. Discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Of course. Zending levers. These levers were originally a part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they pulled. Zending, I didn't get there. This screenshot depicts an early vision of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. I missed it? Yes, I missed it. Zending model. I love this. This is great. Like, yes. Zending went through many iterations for purposes. The fourth dimension or version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to ban and change it again shortly after launch. Before launch, the game is now paused. Begin the game again. Resume the game. Options. Yes. The escape menu. Just too much cool stuff. Countdown desk. Obviously, I did not get there. We're going to go back, I think. Freedom ending. There's a freedom. This is the freedom ending as it exists in beta. Water room elevator. Countdown room. So we've got to play it again just for that. There's the exit. The exit, or is it the entrance? God, don't tell me it's a maze. Again. No, that's not. Rooms. Stanley's office. For the left, right, the evolution of Stanley's office from time over time. The first one was created in 2011, 2012, 2013. So I love that it's so tongue-in-cheek. It's like it is a memorial, like a museum of the game, but yes, physically made. I love that too. Okay, let's go. We need to try this other one.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Pull the lever.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
Nah.
Don't let time
Nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna hit quit there. So was that another ending? You go through all that museum, everything there? Yeah, and then you have to quit and start again. Get in the game again.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
So we have to be together.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're inseparable.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, we gotta put the code in.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. and so the boss had assigned it, and Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he
A different
relaxed
code?
for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Great. Even finding little things like this.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley
There it
calmly
goes.
walked forward into
Whoa.
the opened passageway.
Cool. This is going to perfectly fit the 2 hours that I usually set aside for streaming. That would be cool.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I wonder if you can just back out. No, you can't. Of course not. Yeah, let's do it. This is how I spoiled at the beginning of the game, where you get to see all these rooms and all the screens.
Now the
Yep.
monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, so we have something to do, which is to click on all these buttons. Perhaps in order. That could be a lot of running around. Have a look at some of the other buttons. Console disabled. Is that the only button? Is the 4 there? There are some other buttons hidden around. Yes, 3. Just gonna click them anyways. Maybe go in reverse. No, there's a 5. Does not. Oh, mind controls idle, awaiting input. So we're gonna turn them all off, as I was told to do. If I don't, what happens?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After
Yes,
they
I
kept you
did.
enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making
shit.
things a little more fun, isn't
Gotta
it,
run, don't
Stanley?
I?
It's your time to shine. You
Love
are
it.
the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in
Whoa.
mind. What a shame we have so little time left to
That's
enjoy it.
awesome.
Mere moments until the
Where am I
bomb goes
going?
off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
Where am
More
I going?
time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
There's a
What
door.
all this means, I barely know where
Oh.
to start.
You bastards.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
1,
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story.
2.
Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing
4.
buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has
there
been
it is.
rather amusing. Watching you try to
3.
make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you.
45
is
seconds.
quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
4.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Thank you.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
1 minute.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
I just hit the 5.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
I
Do you
did.
think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Sold? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler.
Console
for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first. So
I can send power surges.
take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you
Goodbye,
let go
employee
peacefully?
427.
Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Oh, damn. So is there a solution to that? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to try that again, though.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
That's a
Stanley
different setup.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so now we have a different setup.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Okay, that's good. Fast forward through it. So now I need to click the right button or cheat and look up a way to undo the other one, but I think I'll just click the right button. Just make it easier. Got 15 minutes left here on the stream.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Let's do it. Credits, I assume.
And a rising chill of uncertainty.
Oh no.
Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Is there more left?
Freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Yeah, this is where I can't choose not to do so. But I'm not real. This is not real. Look at this.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yay, beat the game achievement. Unlocked. Oh, we're back.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
As you can see, no narrator this time. So maybe something else is going on.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
I don't think there is
Feeling a
a...
wave of disbelief,
Yeah,
Stanley
there probably
decided to
cannot
go
be
up
another
to his
ending,
boss's
right?
office.
Trapped in
Hoping
here?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
The other choices we had were go to the escape and then hit quit right at the end. Let's do that.
Here's the door, just go.
Ah! I think we'll hit the escape and then we'll just hit quit at the compactor. Unless something else jumps at us. Then I might finish off any missing parts when I spoil myself.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Yes, I will. But I think I'll hit quit before we get
The
there.
door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Mm-hmm. Down we go. Into the chute. Because I'm some sort of machine, I don't know.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
It does smash it. Let's go. Let's drop.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Yeah, there's no way out of that. You just die. Then you get this.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Now See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on in children's.
Nice. All the narrators, different little clips that weren't used in the game. That's great. Again, this is the way you should do credits in a game. This has to be the best way. Just create a little museum in your game. Let people wander around. Office clock. The freedom ending, which is what we got. I don't know if the other endings, though. There probably was the countdown room, which I don't know the solution to. I'm sure there is a solution. Where's the end? And there's the exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
We're tied together.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Excellent.
Forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever
Here we go.
you do, choose it. Don't let time.
Quit to menu. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like, subscribe, comment. I'll catch you next Saturday for another hot streaming. If you're interested in other CCG related content, I have plenty of that on the channel. That's my normal content. This is just my weekly try something different play, my backlog of Steam. Hit me up, look at the other videos I have there. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.